we are going to bake some Brussels sprouts. Now sometimes you think about Brussels sprouts and you think about being a child and maybe it was the vegetable you really hated because they were steamed or maybe even boiled in water and they just tasted too bitter. That's not what we're going to do. So let me show you a recipe that I think you're going to love, and you can alter this recipe by having not only Brussels sprouts, but you can also take a look at our baked beets recipe and add beets to this, or even butternut squash would be an excellent combination as well. So let's take a look at the ingredients. They include balsamic vinegar, extra virgin olive oil, sea salt, black pepper, and rosemary, and of course about a pound of Brussels sprouts. The first thing we're going to do is we wash the Brussels sprouts, then we're going to chop off the ends and peel off the top layer. Okay, that's the layer you don't want. Okay, a little tip. After you cut off the ends of the Brussels sprouts, I recommend cutting them in half. If you cut them in half like that, you can see that what happens is the outer layer actually just naturally falls away. See, you don't have to spend a lot of extra effort getting rid of the top layer of the leaves that you don't actually want to eat anyways. So cut everything in half. They will actually taste a lot more flavorful as well. So we'll end up with a pound of Brussels sprouts all cut in half. And as you can see, all you have to do then is quickly take out the extra leaves that are sitting there. Brussels sprouts are now cut in half, top layer taken off. They all go into a mixing bowl. So before, this is about 1 pound. Perfect for 2 people. Now, balsamic vinegar. We're going to be using 3 tablespoons of that. One. This adds a nice little sharpness to the flavor. 3. We're going to be using about 1/3 of a cup of extra virgin olive oil, and this one I'm going just to do by putting it in like that. Black pepper. Again, you may know how much pepper and salt you like. I'm going to put in some Mediterranean sea salt. And I'm going to put in a little bit of rosemary. We stir everything up. Then what we're going to do with our baking pan is we're going to put a little layer of olive oil on the pan, because if you don't, these things are going to stick. If I hadn't mentioned it before, what's important to know is the oven temperature should be 425 degrees Fahrenheit. We put a little olive oil across the pan so they don't stick there. And then I would suggest you take a look after about maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes. You can tell just by poking them, taking them out, testing them. But that's a general guideline. Give it about 20 minutes. See how they are. If you need a bit more time based on altitude, you can give more or less time. We're doing this at 7,000 feet. The Brussels sprouts are just going out. And we will put that into the oven. Alright, one thing I forgot to mention is that about halfway through the process, halfway through the cooking, you're going to want to take out the Brussels sprouts, you can see, and you're going to want to spin them over a little bit. Like anything that goes into an oven, they're going to cook more intensely on one side than another. So doing a little bit of stirring halfway through is going to help them cook evenly. Okay, here we have our oven cooked Brussels sprouts. I'm going to add a little bit of something else since we don't have beets or butternut squash. I have some pecans that are gently salted and honey roasted, and we'll put those on top of the Brussels sprouts, and it'll add a nice sweetness to the flavor, and we have a beautiful side to our dinner.